Jamie has a special coming out on Netflix, and I went to the taping of it. Jamie Foxx states in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
Sometimes they say truth is stranger than fiction, and sometimes it ain't truth, and sometimes it's all a lie. We don't know which one this is. Just gonna be frank about it. Right now, it's all hearsay because they're saying something without saying something while saying something. It's gonna get unconfusing in a minute here. Y'all remember the story of Jamie Foxx? Hey, I just found out his name, by the way. I did not know this man had my name. I did not know it. Eric Marlon Bishop. I don't know whether to feel okay with that or not okay with that because it's affiliation with Diddy, but I digress. That story about Jamie Foxx that came out some time ago where he had his eye a thing with his he had that. You remember? Yeah. And then he said he got sick and then he disappeared for a while. And then he came back, but his head was bigger than it used to be and his eyes were closer. Than everybody thought, okay, he's a clone, he's this, he's that. And it just went poof. Everybody forgot that he was sick. Everybody forgot Jamie Foxx disappeared for a while. Everybody forgot that they saw him wobbling out of a SUV to wobble back in and then disappear into the distance. Everybody seemed to forget that. Then everybody seemed to forget he talked about Diddy tapes long before Diddy went to prison. Remember this? And he talked about how these naked basketball games were taking place, but he also didn't say it was him that videotaped a lot of it, which means he was there. But we digress again. To come to this point, there have been two people coming forward to talk about Jamie Foxx coming forward with information about Diddy. Those people are Big Homie CC. Now, I'm going to say now, I don't know these people in the entirety of what they do or their profession. Simply speaking on the fact of what they're saying. Now, the second person is Choke No Joke. I don't know where they come up with their names. I'm just repeating them to you. And they've been saying some rather interesting things. One of the most interesting things they've been saying is that Jamie Foxx is making a documentary for Netflix. And it's what had happened is the title. You see, what had happened was, and y'all might say that sounds familiar. It should sound familiar. You know why? Corey always saying that. Corey always gets it. See, what had happened was, but we always say it as a joke. Apparently, this is supposed to be a comedy thing. But you know how they do? Hide reality in jokes, but sometimes they're just telling a joke. Sometimes they're straight up lying. We don't know which one, but what they're saying is this, that Jamie is going to say out of his own mouth that Diddy poisoned him. That Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he had to go to the feds afterwards, and that is why you see Diddy going through the stress he's going through now. Jamie Foxx was the rat. I don't know how true. We have no clue. We're just going based on what these people say. Do they have anything to lose? Yeah, their whole reputation. Do they have anything to gain? More notoriety. So you can look at it either way. Now, if they are really known people, and again, I have no clue who these people really are and what they used to do. They're not known to me. I'm sure some of you either might hear the names and be like, I know him. I remember him from blah, 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 blah. We don't. But they're coming forward with some things that, if not true, could ruin them. And I mean completely, because you're including somebody that has said already that he has nothing to say. But then you're saying that he did say something, albeit possibly in a comedic way. Now, if it is wrapped up in a joke, is he still trying to save face so that if things fall apart, he does not fall into bad blood with people? And I'm talking about Jamie. Or is he trying to hide it in a joke so he does not have to explain himself later when the truth does come out that he was the one behind it? Nobody knows. Besides, the Netflix special hasn't come out yet. And if and when it does, we'll find out whether he did or didn't say that Diddy did this to him. In fact, what didn't Diddy do? Anybody know? Nobody knows. Apparently, anybody can speculate at this point. Could it be that anybody and everybody's trying to take on the mantle of the next Jaguar Wright? We don't know. Everybody wants to be the next Cat Williams. It took off so well with those two that I can see the incentive. I really can see that maybe they're trying to say, well, I can get in on this. I know some stuff too, and this is what I know. In either case, this raises some questions. Here's the question. Now, Too Strong had speculated on this before. We have spoken about Jamie Foxx and his involvement in this and how he may or may not be the victim here. Partially, perhaps. Fully, not quite sure about that. But we had said before that perhaps he was the one that instigated this whole snowball effect on Diddy. Now, if he did, what I'd really like to know is what his role was and what he had to offer the feds in order for his information to be true. Because we now know that Diddy has been arrested. So if he was behind it, he has to have way more information than he's giving everybody else. Could the Netflix special be the answer that everyone is looking for? But then again, if it is he within his rights because of the case that's ongoing with Diddy? Is he allowed to say what he's going to say? Or could it be that's why he's hiding in a joke? Because he can say, well, I didn't divulge anything. These were all jokes. What are you talking about? We were laughing, hee, ha, ha. Poison? No, what I meant by poison. See, what had happened was, I could give them credit for the title because you can put a lot of things with what had happened was, because you don't have to say the truth. Even when you do get caught lying, you can say, okay, here, what had happened was, it was a joke. And when it comes out to be true, you say, well, okay, what had happened was, it was true. But I couldn't tell you that at the time because this, and this was going on. Now, these men have been saying, I think I remember seeing Big Homie CC, if it's the same person I'm thinking, Shades and a fairly hefty dude. I've heard him say some things before, but I never paid it much mind simply because who'd believe that? And the more that people come out saying this is what happened and this is what happened, it's about time to start tying 2 and 2 together, 1 and 1 together, 5 and 5 together to get a massive number and see exactly what might be happening. But at the same time, we don't know. All speculation, all hearsay. All of this hinges on whether or not Jamie Foxx actually says what they say he is going to say and what they say they heard him say in the recording of this flick. Who knows? But if he does say it, what could that mean for the case against Diddy? Could it go from just trafficking, sexual exploitation, all these other crimes that have to do with drugs? And could it go to attempted murder? And could that be the linchpin for bringing in the other 2 cases of Biggie and Tupac into the fray? That if he's capable of doing it now, he was sure enough capable of doing it back then. Could this really be the linchpin if, in fact, Jamie Foxx did say what they alleged he has said and what he admits? Could this be the thing that puts Diddy completely away? Plea deal be damned. Doesn't matter what he comes up with. It don't matter whose other names he's got. 3 cases of murder? Look, I've seen some people beat some cases, but brother, that's going to be a lot for you to beat. 2 already dead, 1 lived, and he's about to spill. Bro. Now, I've heard stories of it being also the same thing with Al B. Sure. I don't know. Just saying, that was also out on the table that Al B. Sure was going through some stuff because of somebody else. Could it have been Diddy? Could it have been Jay-Z? Who knows? Nobody knows for sure, but could they link all of this together? If they do, I say this now with all confidence. If they link what happened to Jamie Foxx, Biggie, and Tupac, and even Al B. Sure, if any of you out there know Puff, tell him by now. You ain't seen that man's face ever again. He will never see the light of day, probation, none of that stuff. He is not getting out. This is like Monopoly. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You're going straight to jail. And nobody's going to remember you. That is a lot to beat. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much influence you got or who you know. You've exhausted your welcome. But again, this is all hinging on what exactly Jamie's coming forward to say, if indeed he is. Now, all we can do is wait. And if it does come out to be true, I can tell you this much. Too Strong will be here to bring the news to you. And if it turns out to be fake, we'll be here to bring that too. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we're about finding out what the reality of the situation is. Y'all can call it glamorization or whatever term you want to plaster this as, but it's news. It's in the airways, and it affects people that are not necessarily well known. When we have more information, we'll be the first to bring it to you. Until then, wake up before you go to sleep.